All
I
right,
have a candle
so
burning.
I think we're live.
We're live?
We're about to find out.
We are live.
Are we? All right, hey. Here we go. I think it looks okay.
Baby?
We'll start in a brief second. Brief
Talk real
second.
quick.
Brief
Talk
second.
real
Hey,
Oh, hold on. Holy shit.
Hey.
Shit.
No cursing on the live, Will. If I
No
can't
cursing
curse
on
the
the-
pods,
All
you
right,
can't
sounds
curse
good.
on the live.
I'm not cursing. I never curse. I've never cursed in my life.
Oh, okay. My bad.
All right, hold on. Let me. We live, bitches. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's hop on. How can I even view the draft lottery? I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Oh, here we go. Well, hold on.
Oh, this is good.
Draft.
Like it up. Like it up.
like it up.
Like it up.
Yep. Cheeseburger. Here we go. I
The
think I'm
chat
gonna use.
is not opened.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can talk.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe my computer is selling.
Broadcast, dude. I'm so pissed I can't watch ABC
Why not?
because my dad has cable.
Cable in 2024.
Well, it
This
says
is
I have
all about
access to
streaming
ABC, so yeah, not
Alright,
available
so
through
put
my
it on,
TV
man.
provider. Nope, says not available through my
Womp womp.
TV provider.
Wow, what a
Womp womp.
sell.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oops.
Oh, and then we go straight into the Pacers game. All right.
Will I react to the Pacers game?
No. I have shit to do. Anyways, my bad.
We're live, man. We're live. We're live. That's forever.
That's the problem is that
Forever.
you saw me when I streamed.
Yeah.
Isaac.
You gotta do better.
Welcome, Isaac.
Oh, what I noticed is that Ryan looks ridiculous
Oh!
right now. Ryan looks
I look
ridiculous right now.
ridiculous?
Yeah, you look like you have
Why?
burns, third-degree burns on your face from the. Well, can you see that?
Can I see what?
Are you looking at Ryan right
I
now?
look beautiful.
Mute on my side. I don't know.
What does that mean? I look like I have burns.
It's you're coming through grainy as ever, which you always do, but
I look good on
it's
you.
just that this is gonna be a screen recording, and now it's gonna be weird. I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is gonna be chalked. All right, I gotta figure out a better way to do this later. All right, let's start. All right, we'll do the intro. We'll do it live, Bill O'Reilly style. You know
Bill
that pop culture?
O'Reilly.
You know that?
Yeah, we got it now.
We'll do it live. Okay,
Thanks.
I was just making sure. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the Thank You Bro podcast. I'm your host, Will Glover, along with my two co-hosts, the Galloways. We're doing something different. We're actually live right now, and of course, we're not live on Spotify. But when this goes up, you will have missed the live stream. That's a shame. But we're doing something different today. We are reacting to the 2024 NBA Draft Lottery. We can't obviously play it for you because ABC will strike us down faster than you could blink, really. So that our stream would be cut down and we get banned pretty instantly. But we are going to be giving reactions and commentary through it, and then I guess through the start of the Knicks Pacers game. But we'll probably shift off to something different. We'll probably give playoff reactions so far for round 2 after the draft lottery is over. So, fellas, do you have anything to say?
I can't wait for the Spurs to have a disaster of a day. And which looks like, for those who are catching up, the Spurs could potentially get 2 picks in the top 7 because of the Toronto trade.
Yeah.
For Jakob Poeltl. The legend Jakob Poeltl is still paying dividends for the Spurs somehow. But if the pick lands inside, is it inside the top 6?
It's 1 through 6. 1 through 6
If it
protected.
lands in the top 6,
And they're
Spurs don't
sitting
get
at
it,
6.
it stays with Toronto. So it's likely that it stays with Toronto, but the Spurs could come away with as big winners here. And Will would probably go absolutely nuts.
The
live
Spurs
today.
have stolen so many picks from other teams in the last, I don't know, 5 years from the lottery.
It feels
So-
like they're due up to have a stinker. You know, you get the first pick
Well,
last year.
I'm thinking about one steal in particular in 1997 that
Yeah.
the Spurs ripped away from the hands of the Boston Celtics to select one Timothy Duncan out of Wake Forest.
Is that what y'all aren't getting that pick anyways? It's okay.
We had the highest odds to get that pick,
Doesn't matter.
and the Spurs got the pick.
By like a
and
wide margin too. It was
And I
nuts.
came
Yeah,
into
didn't
the
you get
world
bumped
angry.
down the? Y'all got bumped down to 5 or something, didn't y'all? Awesome.
Yeah, we took Antoine Walker.
Hey, Antoine was a guy for a long time, but he was not Tim Duncan.
Oh,
I think about it like this, if we
Antoine
got
Walker
Tim
was
Duncan-
cold. He was on NBA Live, the cover. So there
if
you
we
go.
got Tim Duncan, we would have never had Paul Pierce, and you love Paul Pierce, so think about
I
that
love Paul
alternate
Pierce.
reality.
Dude, you would have much rather had Tim Duncan over Paul Pierce.
No,
that
I
is
wouldn't. No, I
insane
wouldn't.
coke.
give me,
No,
Are
give
you
me Paul-
serious?
No,
You,
Tim Duncan.
y'all are
He was
insufferable.
He was
Terrible.
better for the team, better for the city.
We are 3 minutes in, and I've already heard the worst take in my young life.
No, man.
That is
Look,
that is
I own
ridiculous.
Paul Pierce jerseys. I don't own any Tim Duncan jerseys. Tim Duncan had negative aura. Let's just put it that way. Paul Pierce, though, he was the guy for real.
negative aura at the cost of 5 rings. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Paul
Enjoy.
Pierce hit that one shot over LeBron. You remember it? It was nice.
Yeah,
I think I remember-
Surely won the series.
I remember his shot in Washington more than anything. When the reporter was like, "Did you
when he
call
called
game?" and he
game.
goes, "I call bank." Or no, he
called
said,
bank, man.
"Did you
It was
call
called
bank?"
game.
It was backwards. You're right. He
Yeah,
called
there you
game.
go, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not in the Paul Pierce
It was a
lore.
good try. It was a good try. You
Thank
should be.
you.
It's really good.
Thank you, bro.
You remember,
So-
buddy. Don't
so
try
yeah.
to hate.
So starts now. I don't know where I'm at here. There we go.
It always takes a few minutes after 2:00 or whenever. it
So
actually
y'all
starts for them to actually roll.
actively have it.
I have the stream up, but I know that Twitter's probably gonna be a little bit faster, so I'm just gonna have Woj up and ready on my computer. I'm signing into it now, and then
right.
we'll get live up to the second.
I was
stuff.
gonna put it on, but I see that the San Antonio Brahmas game is on, and I kind of
Wow, that is insufferable.
Oh, the
Julian's
Myrtle
not
Beach
in the
Classic is
chat,
on,
so you don't have to
final
appease
round?
to him.
There's so much
No.
good stuff on TV right now. What a great time to be alive.
Yep, Cardinals
Yeah, I
are
don't think
losing
that's true.
3-0. It's awesome. It's good stuff. Woj, you said Woj has the updates. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah,
Just pull up Whoosh and then
let's play a fun game called "Can I sign into
Julian
my-
calls into the show.
to my Twitter?"
Julian better not call into the show.
What
Evan, you can
is-
call into the show if you want. Just call one of us.
Don't, Evan.
Oh,
do not
no.
call us.
Oh, I forgot to go.
Or call
Oh, no.
us.
Yeah,
Oh,
do not.
no,
Hold on.
he's
I'm going
gonna
do not
call, isn't it?
disturb. It's over. No.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
chalk.
Yeah. Don't even. Why did you give him that idea? He's
I'll go
he's
D-
already
oh,
at
yeah,
his phone app.
D&D, baby. D&D.
Evan
Terrible.
Evan deserves his moment.
Nope. Doesn't.
Oh, he's
Not
calling
yet.
me.
Dude, decline it.
That's awful.
Hello?
Oh, jeez.
Evan, how's it going, brother?
Good, how are you?
Good. You're live on Thank You, Bro.
Thank you, bro.
You got something for us?
That's
Evan,
terrible.
you've been-
I'm.
This is ridiculous.
No, I'm
Evan's
muting
been
Ryan. I
dying
muted Ryan.
to get
I
on this
muted Ryan.
show.
Yeah, no,
Evan
I
finally
muted
gets
Ryan.
his
so-
shot, and he just tanks.
And he
says, "Thank you,
freezes.
bro." Yeah.
And just freezes. Ryan's
Literally-
talking, but we can't. Okay, he hung up. Okay, Ryan's
piss
unmuted now.
running down his
He
leg.
had, he had nothing. If you're calling into the show, be prepared to have something. I will
No
hang
one
up
call
on
in.
you in less than a minute.
You should have been almost instant, is what you should have done. But I'm gonna go to Shams. I think Shams will be faster.
He
you're-
texted me. He asked who's getting the first pick.
Dude, that's what
Detroit.
we're here to
Dude,
decide. We're not debating. who's
Get
gonna
out
get
of the
first
text.
pick.
Do not text us, Evan. You will use the YouTube comments like everyone else. Julian had to make
Julian
a channel.
made a channel, but he's here.
Good. Yeah.
Shout out, Jules.
If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's free. It really is. True story. So, all right. So, what are we thinking here? Let me pull up the draft odds. Draft lottery odds, and we'll kind of go down before it all starts. We'll kind of go what do you think happens? What do you think? Who gets? So Detroit and Washington, 14% odds to get the number 1 pick. Charlotte next. Portland, San Antonio, Toronto follows. Do you think it's going to go in that order, or what's going to happen? What are we thinking?
We always see at least one team jump. I feel like, and maybe I'm just wanting that to happen. I really want to see a little bit of chaos. And as a selfish San Antonio resident, I am definitely rooting for the Spurs to have the best possible outcome here. And I think that would be landing 2 picks inside the top 6, kind of no matter where they fall. I mean, if you get the first pick, that's great. I don't even know what the Spurs would do with it. We're in mid-May, and we still don't have a clearly defined top overall prospect. I think it's about for the Spurs, it's about getting 2 picks instead of 1. It doesn't really matter where they are. I feel like everybody in that top 8 range is about the same talent level, and it's just kind of a crapshoot. This is going to be potentially remembered as one of the worst drafts, maybe ever. And maybe we're all wrong, and maybe Alex Sarr is Wemby 2.0, and we could be wrong. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep in mind that there's not a ton of big names in this draft, but that doesn't mean there's not big talent in the draft. There's a lot of hope for Zachary Risache. I think I said that right. That's a fun name to say. He's a Spur, man. I'm telling you right now. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a ton of talent. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially if someone like the Spurs gets one of the top picks. I wouldn't be surprised to see them trade out of that. Maybe to get a pass first point guard. I think that's their biggest need. Some guy who can do some playmaking and also play defense, because outside of Wemby, the Spurs can't play defense, and that is not a winning formula. I don't care how good he is or the fact that he's going to win DPOY for the next 10 years. You need somebody to guard the perimeter, So,
and it's not Trae Young.
And then I don't know what happens if someone like the Pistons or the Wizards get it. I think they need all the help they can get. They have to kind of, take a shot.
Yeah.
And hope that they're right. But the thing with the draft, as with every draft in professional sports, nobody knows and everyone's wrong. So I think we'll have a clearer picture of what's going to happen that we can talk about after the lottery.
Yeah. Julian writing, if the Spurs get Bronny, do we get LeBron? And the answer is I sure hope so.
No.
I sure hope so. Well, LeBron James Spurs jersey would hit like crack. I would.
Bronny's not getting drafted. He's going.
I would buy every variant. Every variant.
Bronny is
LeBron
getting
jersey.
drafted. Okay. Bronny's
I don't
definitely
think he's getting drafted.
But that for Julian, that's not an answer. That's not an answer we're getting today. That's a second round problem for the day of the draft. That's not a first round issue.
No, remember the reports came out and said that some GMs were looking to take him late first. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Are some GMs just the Lakers?
Yeah,
probably.
I guess so. I like how Ryan went frozen again. Don't you love Ryan Galloway Internet? Guys, make sure we donate to the Ryan Galloway Internet Fund.
Yeah. Let's get some super chats going, because
I haven't set up super chats yet.
Oh no.
I should have set up super chats. I don't
Julian,
have that ready.
Can you Venmo me some money?
Julian probably owes you a good couple $100, so.
Yeah.
He really does. He really does. Waiting for that Venmo to come in, buddy.
You've picked up the tab at Kane Enables a few too many times.
Yeah. Julian says no,
Julian,
get a job.
Shut up. I have a job. Shut up.
No proof. No proof. Anyways.
Books.
So, coverage has already started. correct?
We are the coverage. Let's be honest.
Well, I'm saying
we
coverage
started.
on TV has started. I have not heard. I've not seen anything. I can't even get it on a live. Oh, NBA draft lottery odds. Fine, I'll go Stream East. Whatever.
Evan, are you still in here?
Mute site. Oh, it's not even on, and I'm not watching the Cardinals game, so miss me with that.
Evan, Thank You Bro is proud to provide the most up-to-date coverage of any sporting event, including the NBA Draft Lottery, that you could ever want or need. Live on YouTube once a week.
Yep.
If the
Wow.
Spurs
Live
get the
every week,
first, can Ryan and Spencer twerk off?
No,
Yeah.
man. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No twerk off, man.
Um,
Not today. That's
no,
that's
okay.
later.
Dude.
That's the post.
no, that's
That's the
you're right.
post game one we're gonna do.
my bad.
Evan said he'll. Evan, shoot me your Spectrum right now. Shoot it right now.
That's
Actually,
crazy.
I'm
That you're
serious.
letting Evan call you broke.
I don't
That's
care.
crazy.
Evan called you a
Good for
brokey.
you.
Evan, shoot over the Spectrum thing. Let me log in. It'll be so much easier.
Evan, just send it in the chat.
Yeah, actually send it in the chat, and then I'm gonna leak it to everyone that's watching.
Dude, this
All-
is insane.
All 5 of our viewers, guys. Welcome.
Welcome. You know,
I'm ready. Up and Marmol and Descalso got ejected. Did you see Hater Report posted Jaylen Brown left-hand dribble challenge, difficulty level impossible?
yeah, man. 30 points and a double-digit win. Not worried about
Did
it.
you see him have one of the most efficient games? You
Dude,
can have in the
Jaylen Brown
playoffs?
is the best player on the Celtics in the playoffs again, and it's not
You
even
can't
close.
Say hater
I-
report, left-hand dribble, and then also say
No,
best
I
player on
I
the
was
team.
asking,
No,
did you
no,
see it?
no.
And
It's
I
one or the other.
guarantee you're
Do
gonna
you
say
want
300 million highest played player.
Do you want it to be Jaylen Brown? That's fine. I don't care who the best player is at this point. I just want to win because dropping game 2s at home is going to send me into shock. So if it's Jaylen, fine, but then don't hate on his left hand, which, to be fair.
I'm not the one who hated on it. I'm just pointing out
No,
what
you
I
did.
saw.
You did. I think you run the hater report page and you're just waiting to come out about it.
Oh,
you're
is
always proud
is
of
that
it.
so?
You're
Dude,
always
I love
proud
hater
about the
report. I want to talk
know,
about
you
how
love it.
Jason Tatum dropped 31 on like 40% shooting. Can we talk about that one? Pure misery. Absolute disaster class. Biggest fraud.
While you were out at a
Um,
bar,
Got the
some
win.
shaggy little bar in Abilene,
I
and
wasn't
you
at
should
the
have been
bar.
watching the game, you would see that was a dominant performance. But hey,
While Spencer and I were watching it in a much worse and scarier bar.
it wasn't scary, but it was loud.
Which bar did y'all go to? Did you go to Kennedy's?
No,
No,
it's a
we
Stout
should've.
House.
You went to the Stout House?
Yeah, the one on Stone Oak though. Different crowd, man. Different crowd.
To be fair, they had the game up on a massive projector. That was kind of nice.
That is nice.
That was nice.
And
No, it's good to it's good to hang out with and have a beer and watch the game.
it could be
I
the
envy
future
you.
home of Celtics watch parties. We're gonna
Could be.
get with the owners and we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna get the South Texas Celtics fans united.
The South Texas Celtics fans. That's cursed.
Yeah, so Julian, be on the lookout for the watch party. You're cordially invited.
Oh, hey, Evan, great news. I can't watch on your Spectrum account because I have to be connected to your home Wi-Fi. Awesome.
That's
All right.
awesome.
It's
It's
chalked.
okay. Just keep it up on something.
Yeah, I will. Website to YouTube link is broken. Well, that figures. How is that even possible?
I don't know. Go ahead and send me the.
I've still got the
login
I've got the
info.
feed up with me,
Okay, good. What's up, Brian?
so I can announce.
Send me the
picks
login
as they
info.
come
I'm
out.
sure that's his log for a lot of things. I'd just like to have that on hand.
Yeah, I will later.
Okay, thanks.
Is
Appreciate
it
that.
you?
Oh, Evan,
I'm ready to
stop
get this-
texting me.
I'm ready to get this started. I'm excited. I hope the Spurs figure it out. I hope we get something. This could be something big here. That's all I'm saying.
This could be
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have it on Streamy, so I'm going to be about, I don't know, 35, 40 seconds behind when I'm watching
see,
it.
We'll see if that's correct.
That's fine. I still want to. I want to watch something visual. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'll give you something to watch visually.
I wish you would. Yeah, I don't know what is Drew crying about. All right. Anyways, we need to stop referring to our audience like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't stop interrupting.
It's on me, man. It's on me. It's on me. All right. So here are my predictions.
Happy. This isn't about them.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, continue.
I think Washington will get the first pick, and they're going to take Sarr. I think Sarr's a good fit in Washington. I really do. Someone they can build around that's a pretty massive player, really. He's what, 7'3", 250? He's pretty good. I think Sarr would be the best player in the draft. Topic's going to be good. I think Topic goes higher than what we think he'll be. I don't think Topic, Topic, I don't care. I call him Topic until he's a Spur. Until he's a Spur, his last name's Topic. Right. What an absolute throw by San Antonio. Going 6-4 and 8-5 in their last 13 to close the season out. Dropping from 2 all the way from 3 to 5. I mean, like, what are you doing?
Just miserable. It's like the Pats selling the first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. We got the best player in the draft in Drake May.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I'm about to
similarly,
say
maybe you have a good outcome here.
So,
well, as somebody who's only lived out the careers of these prospects through 2K, and I know Ryan can probably attest to some degree as well by playing out some awesome 25-year-long my leagues. I do like Risachet, who some people do have as the number 1 overall pick.
Is he number 1?
He's not really shaped out as like a lead guy, not a traditional number 1 overall pick. He doesn't have much self-creation, but he's a great shooter. Very flexible, could kind of, he could fit in anywhere. Which in this draft, you might be drafting for fit over talent because you're just the talent. There's not enough, big enough.
You have to draft for fit in this draft.
Unless you're that high on Sarr or Topic or Risachet, one of those
three. So Topic is actually ranked 1 right now on big board.
It just depends where you look.
On some big board. Yeah.
Wherever you look.
I think it really depends on who gets 1 because, like, say, if Washington gets it, I could easily see them taking a Donovan Clingan just because I feel like that would work really well.
Yeah. Spurs need a guy like Topic. I'm trying to think who else on here. Who does Detroit need? Detroit has Cade. Detroit has Duran. They need Alexander Sarr might be a good fit in Detroit. Richasset would be.
Yeah, he would be good in Detroit.
Just a good 3 or 4 guy. Because I mean that team with Cunningham and they have Monty at the helm now.
Yeah, that's bad.
What do you mean?
Maybe a Ron Holland, perhaps.
Not all in on Monty Williams. My bad.
So that finals run was a fluke?
Fluke, no. Definitely a better roster construction than what they've got now. That just got them swept in the first round.
Yeah.
Turns out going all in on Bradley Beal at age 32 or 31 is not.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought that? But hey, that's okay. Yeah, you probably want Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges back, but
all those moves to beat the Celtics. And Denver or
and
Minnesota is going to beat them anyways. So
yeah, the teams that got built up through the draft, except for the Gobert trade for Minnesota, but that was their big swing.
And he was at his lowest. His value was at his lowest. The Timberwolves did an absolute amazing job.
Yes,
just getting the pieces right, and he was a perfect fit because Karl-Anthony Towns is not a legitimate 5-man. So you go out and you get a 5-man and you let Karl-Anthony Towns play the stretch 4 that he is. So, and it's worked out beautifully. We'll see. They played at night, right?
Whoa, Landry Fields mentioned. Landry Fields in attendance for Atlanta.
Landry Fields.
Why is he there for Atlanta? I guess
so Pajimski.
There's no way.
Imagine the Warriors got the number 1 pick just so the NBA could save Curry's legacy. Ime's
Scotty
in
Barnes.
attendance. Ime, your boy, Celtics legend.
Why is Ime there?
He's representing Houston.
I'm trying to see if you're ahead.
I'm
Have you
behind.
seen
No, I'm
Scotty
behind.
Barnes
I'm
yet?
behind.
Okay.
No, I just got the Landry Fields. I'm behind.
Okay, good.
You just missed the first two that were announced. Like Pajimski's
Yeah.
representing the Warriors and all that stuff.
Interesting.
Utah getting the number 1 pick would be interesting. What does Utah need to turn things around, to be that team that they were back in the early 2010s when they were competitive?
They need Gordon Hayward back for that.
And Donovan Mitchell.
Utah was freaky competitive in the first half of the season until they punted on it. Obviously they're nowhere
Which they made the
close
right
to
move.
contending.
I think they made the right
Yeah.
move. I know they made
But
the
they
right
have
move. But
they have nice pieces. They picked up Keontae George in the draft last year, who's like a really nice combo guard, good playmaker who can score it himself. Walker Kessler, who definitely had a sophomore slump. I really thought that he was like a huge prize in that Gobert trade, but kind of TBD on that. The thing is they don't have a bona fide guy that you can build around, right? And so they're just got to draft for talent if they do end up that high, and it's just to be determined on who that player is going to be, who's going to break out.
yeah.
Detroit. This feels like Detroit's year for me. This feels like a Detroit year.
You
They've
think
been
so?
dwelling in the doldrums for too long, and they have Cade Cunningham, who I really like. He's going to need some help there, but I like Asar Thompson a lot. I like Jalen Duren for what he is, and there's a lot of things he's not. But Detroit,
Jalen Duren's
I'd like to
is
see
a good
them.
player. It would be
He's a good
nice to see
player.
Detroit. Basketball is good when Detroit's good. It really
Is it?
is.
That's
When
fair.
they're a contender, or not even a contender, but when they make it to the second round, it's fun. It's fun to watch Detroit basketball. I remember a few years ago, when Wall and Beal were both healthy, they made a somewhat decent run. I think round 2, but still, basketball's better when you got your I'm gonna call them blue bloods.
Okay,
Any
here we
team that
go.
was good in the 90s and early 2000s. All right.
14th overall is Portland.
Really?
Scoot Henderson is not impressed.
Portland dropped from 4 to 14?
13th overall is the Kings.
Hold on. Portland was
Wait,
projected
we'll-
4.
We'll react at the break. There'll be a break here in a second. There'll be a break. I know.
Oh,
Oklahoma City
no.
is 12th. Wow.
Oh,
Oklahoma City
jeez.
with
This
a
is-
lottery pick.
Cursed. Yeah, it's Houston.
goodness.
That's why.
Chicago
I can't believe that.
at 11.
Oh,
think
man.
Hold
Oh, wait.
your applause. And Utah at 10. So Utah, not going to get that.
I'm
Makes
sorry.
sense.
Sorry. Portland took Golden State's pick. That's what happened. I forgot Portland had a...
And Atlanta is
Had that.
is in the top 4.
Are you
Houston
serious?
is in the top 4.
Well, that means the
Memphis-
Spurs are getting Toronto 6th.
Memphis is 9th. The Spurs
Oh.
are at 8 from Toronto.
Let's
Wow,
go,
let's
baby.
go.
Let's
The Spurs will
go.
have two picks in the top 8. Wow.
Yes,
Let's
huge. Oh
This
my
is
gosh,
excellent.
it's feeding me.
go. The 7th overall pick. Portland. There they are. So they get 2 picks in the lottery.
They dropped to
There's-
7 though. They were
there's-
projected
yeah.
4.
They did drop.
Does that mean
are in
Spurs
the
move top
4.
3?
Spurs are in the top 4, baby. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go, baby. Please
The
be.
What a
6th
day for
overall
Will
pick
Glover.
goes to the Hornets. The Hornets are 6.
Hornets dropped.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, it's
That's crazy.
happening. The Spurs dynasty's
pick.
back, baby.
Detroit at 5.
No way.
So the top 4.
this happening right now?
One second. The top 4 are Washington, San
Oh.
Antonio, Houston, and Atlanta.
Atlanta jumped from
Gotta go to
10.
Atlanta.
It's a 4.
Atlanta
They're in
was
the top
10
4.
to top 4. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So
Atlanta
this
They
is
want
like-
Trey.
lottery
They
time.
desperately want Trey Young to stay.
This is perfect for for the San Antonio
Miserable.
Spurs.
Oh my,
They've got 2 picks in the top 8,
dude!
a
If the
guaranteed
Spurs
spot
could
in the
get,
top 4.
I'm
They
shaking
could have
now.
the first overall pick in this draft, back-to-back years. It's on the
Wow.
table now.
Let's go Spurs.
pretty
I
nuts.
hate
Spurs
that.
through for
I
no
just-
reason.
I don't
Oh.
want Will to be happy.
We're so back.
So
See, because then we're gonna have to deal with this every day.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't, dude. I know the Raptors fans are
Atlanta-
sobbing right now.
yeah, I are. There was like
Atlanta
such a low
couldn't happen
chance for that.
Worst fan base.
Who? Atlanta?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nope. Hate Atlanta.
What happened? What did Atlanta do to you, man?
You ever been
I
to
have
the
an
Atlanta
NDA,
airport?
so- I have an NDA, so I can't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the airport
Yeah.
does suck. Is that what it
Oh,
is?
it's
No, it's actually
not
not.
great. Well, that's part of it for me.
That's fair.
Wow,
All right,
that
so
was pretty crazy.
that went a lot
That's
different
about
than
as-
what I thought it was. I
yeah.
thought it was going to go pretty cookie cutter, just right down the line. Atlanta
No.
jumping to the top 4, crazy considering
nuts.
they played in the play-in. So, did Houston got Brooklyn's pick, right? Was that what I saw?
I think so. I think that's what it was. But yeah,
Okay, so
um,
I mean, who
then
gets
you have
shafted
Oklahoma
here?
City drafting in the lottery.
Detroit got
end up
shafted. Detroit, worst record in the league last year, dropped to 5. They got
That's
shafted back-to-back seasons.
Back-to-back years. Yeah, this is a
Good
2-time
for them.
screwing of
miserable.
Detroit.
Oh man, Detroit. One of the top comments I'm looking on Stream East: Detroit basketball. Awesome.
This is like so
Oh
unfortunate
man,
for them.
what a bad day to be a if there are there even Pistons fans? I don't know, man.
Okay, so quickly,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Spurs are obviously the biggest winner so far. We'll see how it shakes out.
Well, the
you've got-
Hawks, if they get the number 1 pick,
well, sure. They're like a surprise.
so far
winner,
though,
but,
yeah.
what do you do with those 2 picks? What's the worst player you would trade those 2 picks for?
For a start, Anthony Davis. If the Lakers,
Wow.
if LeBron left the Lakers, you should go full rebuild, and you trade the number. Let's say they get 2 and 7.
Would you
Anthony
trade that
Davis.
2 pick for AD?
If I was the Spurs, I would hold on and just even if next year's not very good, another development year. Do what we did with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. Duncan came into a situation a little different, where the NBA was kind of in mix-up mode at the time. I'm not going to say competition was weak, but it wasn't as strong as it is now. And they still had Robinson, who was still producing 20, 22, and 10 when Duncan entered the scene. And plus, Duncan was 24 and already pretty seasoned. Or 22 and already seasoned. So, completely different situation. I think the Spurs just need to continue to take another growing pain year, let the guys get comfortable, and then year 3, it's go time. Year 3,
that's
the
not
clock
gonna
starts
happen.
ticking. I hope it does. Year
That
3, the
should
clock
be
starts
what
ticking
happens.
for the Spurs. The Spurs are a
That
good ran
should be
organization,
what
though,
happens.
besides what happened
No,
with the
I
Kawhi
know,
Leonard
I
thing.
know, but that should be what happens. But would you put it past them in the way that the NBA and the world is today, for them to take one, if not both of those picks and go get Trey Young?
I hope they don't get Trey Young was
I don't think
not
it's
the
gonna be
answer
Trey.
to the Spurs.
I don't
He's
think
Why
so.
would
not,
you?
but I don't know
Why would you add the
everyone thinks
worst
that is.
defensive point guard in NBA history on the worst defensive team in NBA history? Congrats,
He
you're
shoots
scoring
fun
130.
threes.
You're gonna score 130 a game, but you're gonna give up 140 points. So even with Wemby at the helm of that defense, Wemby can only
Alright.
do so much.
We're about to have the top 4 unveiled.
All right, Spencer, you
And-
just gotta tell me because I'm still behind.
We're getting a nice shot of Landry Fields right now. Nice angle on him.
Is Landry
all right.
Fields the difference maker for Atlanta?
Here is Mark Tatum to announce the top 4. With the 4th overall selection, it will be
San Antonio.
the Spurs.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Mm.
Hey, we moved up
Um,
one, so
hey, you're happy
no
about
complaints.
That, though. You're happy about
yeah,
that. 4th pick and the 8th pick.
moved up one and got an 8th pick. So
The
That's a good
Rockets
deal.
will be selecting 3rd.
Oh my god!
all right,
Ime Udoka not impressed.
Hawks.
Wizards at 2, and the Hawks will have the
Wow. Oh
first
my
The
overall
Hawks
pick
got
in the
the number
NBA
one
draft.
pick.
Let's go! Wow,
No
Landry Fields.
way. Landry Fields masterclass.
We called out Landry, and he showed to the draft lottery. He called
Wow.
his shot today. Wow,
That's crazy. That's miserable.
and the camera.
I
with a
can't
hard
believe it.
cut.
Trey Young. No, if you're the Hawks, Trey Young stays now. That is a franchise altering pick. It is.
But
Now
what
you
if
build
could
around
trade
Murray.
Trey Young. I mean,
No.
well, let's just hang on here.
John Collins is coming back. You need Alexander Sarr, and you complete that team.
John Collins?
Yes.
He's a member of the Utah Jazz, my brother.
No.
John Collins is a member of the Utah Jazz.
Who am I thinking of? Who's that big ass? Oh, I can't say that word.
Onyeka Okongwu?
No, that
Clint
just make it look
Capella?
racist.
Clint Capella?
I'm sorry,
Not John
Sadiq Bey.
Collins.
I'm smoking crack. You have Sadiq Bey. He'll be back. Sadiq Bey's good. Did I remember his name? No.
He's only this. He's only the guy with the most random 50-point game ever.
SGA doesn't have a
Malachi
50-point
Flynn
game. Yeah, Malachi
Malachi
Flynn
Flynn
last year.
took that. crown.
No, but you have Sadiq. So okay, so you don't get Sarr. My bad. You get Donovan Clingan. Maybe you trade down. What if you
Why
traded?
straight down?
No, but you because the guy you're looking for. I mean, Sarr's 7-1, so I mean you could get Sarr there. I
would
think you take Sarr.
I think Sarr is the right answer for them. You don't want if the plan is to keep Trey, like you're saying, you don't want Topic, you don't want
No, you don't want
Dillingham,
Topic.
you don't want Shepard.
You don't
want
need
these guards.
Richase because you have Sadiq Bey, who's more experienced already.
Okay, we're not thinking about Sadiq Bey and the rebound.
No,
If
he's
I'm in the-
he's
if I'm
key
in that
to
front
it. He's
office,
key to it.
Sadiq Bey, I'm not even thinking about Sadiq Bey for a second.
Well, that's why you're not in the front office.
He's cracking the rotation, sure, but he's not on my radar.
He should be when you consider what needs to happen. Why would you get an extra?
Atlanta is so far away from contending. Sadiq Bey,
They're
and
not.
anybody
Trey
who's
Young
not
took
Trae
that
Young,
shitty Hawks team to the conference finals like
You
3
want to
years
talk
ago.
about fluky conference finals appearances? That is one of them. That's up there with Portland's fluky conference finals appearance. Didn't New Orleans make a conference finals?
No.
In the Rondo, maybe they were knocking on the door. No, that's
No,
when
they
Portland
were
knocked them
because
out.
then
they were
Cousins
the victim of the
tore
Portland.
his. No, Cousins tore his Achilles before the playoffs. They were looking really good when it was Cousins and AD running that with Rondo, because Rondo would average like 2 points a game and 12 assists. It was awesome, pure basketball.
He was actually playing really great at that time.
Love Rondo. Rondo is, in my opinion, a top 10 point guard ever.
Thank you, bro.
Thoughts?
Wow, Rondo praise? Love that.
Thank you, bro.
Yes,
No,
I love
I think-
Rajon Rondo.
I think Atlanta's going to take they're going to take Donovan Clingan. You heard it here first.
So then you would trade down if you're going to take Clingan.
Do you? Do you
Yeah.
trust that Washington's
can-
not going to take him?
Go trade. Hey, you know what you could do? Here you go. Trade your number 1 pick to the Spurs for Keldon Johnson in the 5th pick.
Wow, that's insane.
Or 4th pick, sorry.
Dude,
No,
we
look.
give
Up
up
that
Johnson.
much for you're drafting the same talent at one.
Keldon
versus
Johnson's got to
four.
go. Keldon Johnson's got to go.
Yeah,
Keldon-
exactly. Atlanta is not going to hear Keldon Johnson on the phone and be like, "Oh, this is awesome. We got to go get."
It's
Keldon."
Atlanta, man. You were saying you didn't like Sadiq Bey, so there you go. Get someone that's a 6-man for
That's
the
such a
Hawks right
different-
there.
Who do you
Is
think
it?
Sadiq Bey is?
Yeah.
Sadiq Bey is my glorious king.
Are you thinking of someone else?
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
He's a floor spacer.
Will him to be a top guy like you have Nas Reed. That will
Yeah,
never
he's not
happen.
Nas
That
Reed.
was luck.
If he was even half as good as Nas Reed, I'd maybe understand you, but he's not.
I mean, what? He's a 14-6 guy on
I'm cutting
45,
the-
35.
I'm cutting.
Looks
the
like
tops
Ryan's
here.
already cutting out, so Ryan's cutting out.
No
again.
more Sadiq Bey. You want to talk about
Okay.
the Hawks? Talk about Jalen Johnson. Talk about
Jalen Johnson's a good player too. Another
talk
forward.
about Okongwu. Talk about DeAndre Hunter, who's also underwhelming. That's the thing. Atlanta has a lot of guys in house who have already been top picks and are underwhelming.
Well, they have the number 1 pick. You
They
do
are
not trade Trey Young
very-
now.
Very far away from contention. I wouldn't rule it out. I would, if Trey Young sees that a first overall pick is coming through the door and he thinks that may mean 3 to 5 years of waiting, he might be a guy who asks out of Atlanta. You know, which just
He
not
might
surprising.
ask out. If he
Yes
asks
or
out,
no?
then obviously you got to go. You got to.
It's
but
on the table.
That's fair. If he asks out, that's completely different. I don't see why Atlanta would want to trade Trae Young right now. Atlanta would want to trade Trae Young. Oh, that's loud.
Getting the first overall pick. It could make things weird right now in the interim, but you're obviously the biggest winners of the day.
Yeah. 100%. They were 10 or 11.
And Detroit,
they were 10.
Loser.
Biggest losers, as always.
That sucks.
It always happens.
That's tough for Detroit.
Although Detroit got the number 1 pick a few years ago, and got Cunningham out of it.
Yeah, who's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good player, but he can't win.
But they needed another number 1 pick. They really did. And when you keep getting shafted over and over again, it's kind of hard to compete. That's crazy. So our big winners, obviously Atlanta, San Antonio. Do we have a third big winner? What was the results here? Who moved up the furthest? Let's see. I'm trying to think. Houston got 2 picks, I think. Did they?
Dude,
no, they didn't.
Shout out to tankathon.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
It is
awesome.
lagging. They are probably getting crushed right now.
I was here though, so I was already waiting.
There you go. Yeah, it's going slow.
No, Houston's a big winner.
Results.
That was Brooklyn's pick.
That was
Brooklyn's pick. That's crazy.
Well, that was the James Harden benefit. They traded James Harden, and now they got Brooklyn. When is Brooklyn going to learn, man? I mean, after the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown debacle,
trading for aging stars and giving up their top picks because they're going to be perennial shit.
Just insane. I mean,
they're the worst ran organization. Them and the Lakers.
But
the Lakers just got lucky with LeBron. That's it. Or we would have that conversation. Yep, Trailblazers. They got two lotto picks, although they bumped down to 7, so that's disappointing for them. But yeah, Houston big winners. San Antonio and of course Atlanta. I can't believe Atlanta got the number 1 pick. They had a 3% chance.
That's amazing. Yeah, they jumped up a whole 9 spots, man. That's great. They were
biggest.
Team.
Yeah, so biggest losers, we got Brooklyn, obviously, Detroit. Who else? Who fell out? Washington stayed the same. Washington got what they expected to get.
Golden State compared to Portland, but it's not a huge.
Yeah, but that was the 14th pick, so.
Yeah, biggest loser, it's definitely, it feels like Detroit. They dropped
Charlotte.
the most.
Charlotte dropped to 6 from 3.
Yep.
But there's 2 evident losers, and that's the Pistons and the Nets. As always, I feel like that's pretty consistent.
The Nets knew this was going to happen. That's what's so bad about where Brooklyn is right now is that they're in a spot where they're not competitive, but they have no incentive to tank going forward because they don't own any of their picks. So it's very awkward. It's like, do you try to buy back picks from other teams? Do you go back to Houston and say, what would it take to get our picks back? But they're just in that really bad spot where it's no man's land in the NBA.
You're right. I think they need to trade Mikal Bridges, honestly.
And Brooklyn is the reason for this new rule where you can no longer trade.
Probably doesn't fit in their timeline.
Yeah, you can no longer trade picks in consecutive years. But they managed to do all the damage they could. And
here's a thought.
Good on Houston.
Do you use one of your picks if you're the Spurs to trade for Mikal Bridges? Do you use that 7th pick? He's got a couple years left on his deal.
I think Brooklyn
I think he'd be a better fit.
Yeah,
I think that would be a pretty good fit for San Antonio. Someone who plays every game, pretty good, pretty solid. I wouldn't say good, but a pretty solid defender. 20-point scorer.
Definitely. I mean, he was once upon a time one of the best wing defenders in the league before he had to take on an offensive burden.
Yeah,
in Brooklyn.
And with Wembanyama, you're not the number 1 option anymore. So you can go back to kind of putting more energy in on that defensive side. I didn't even think about that until now. Just looking at the Nets. If you're the Nets, I think you try to.
The Nets are going to try
bring
to
up
buy
San Antonio
their way back into this draft. I feel like they have to. They have to try to get something out of this. This down year.
And Ryan's gone. Ryan
Wow,
Internet
that's wild.
yet
Ryan Internet challenge.
ceases
Stay
to
connected for
amaze.
30 minutes.
Impossible. It's so funny. I'm sure he's cursed up a storm in text. Let me check my phone real quick.
Yeah, he probably is, man. He probably is.
That's funny.
Man,
That figures.
am,
He said sigh.
I am excited to go to my first Spurs game of the season next year. I don't know what it's going to look like, of course, but
Yeah.
they are such big winners here because of the flexibility that they got. They have the option to trade these picks, keep these picks. I would keep these picks. Maybe like you said,
I would too.
If it's that 8th pick for like Mikal Bridges or just another guy who's going to come in and play nice with Wemby, I definitely would like that. Because I don't know what you're doing at number 8. It's kind of a wild card, man. This draft is not deep, as we know, but I definitely think they're going to walk away with one of the 3 best guards at number 4, whether it's Topic, Shepard, or Rob Dillingham.
I hope Topic falls. I hope Topic somehow
Absolutely.
falls.
That
But
is
I
who
don't
they
think
should have an eye out for.
I mean, Atlanta doesn't need a guard, so that's great news.
Right.
The Wizards do need a guard, so that's a problem.
Right. They need.
Hey, Ryan, welcome back. The Rockets don't need a guard.
No.
So that goes to the
there's a
Spurs. So
chance.
there's a chance.
There's a chance.
You just got to pray. If you're a Spurs fan like myself, you have to pray that Washington somehow screws up or takes Alexander Sarr if he's available.
If they take Sarr and if Klingon goes in the top 3,
Oh, see you, Ryan.
I could easily see it going. Rob Dillingham feels like a Washington player to me. Feels like someone who's definitely going to get picked up there. I could see the first 3 going Sarr, Dillingham, and Klingon. I would, if Houston thinks that Klingon could just beef up their front line, because they don't need another guy to score the ball or handle the ball, especially after Jalen Green's reemergence this year. And you're going to get Alpi Sengun back next season healthy. Imagine putting Klingon, who, if he ends up being a defensive stopper like he's advertised, next to Sengun, who's a little bit undersized at the center. That could be a nice fit potentially. And yeah, then very easily, it's easy to see how Nikola Topic could fall all the way down to number 4. And that could be an amazing pick and roll duo for many years to come, him and Wembanyama.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be fun.
That would be something.
It
We'll
would be.
see. There's a lot of things. The Hawks blew up this draft because now the potential number 1 pick is definitely not going 1. So unless the Hawks trade it out,
The Hawks could be trading out.
all right. My dryer's done. It's so loud.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
That's why I was.
Same thing.
Yeah. Do you think the Hawks trade? So I mean, what happens? You would trade out and keep Trae Young, and go get a star. Go get an Anthony Davis.
Prior to like this draft lottery today, I kind of thought that the Trae Young era was over with anyway. I don't know.
This changes everything.
You cannot keep both of the guards. We're in year 2, or is this year 2 or 3 of this experiment?
2, yeah.
This is the second full season, I think, and it's not working. The way it's gone is one of them will get hurt, and then the other one will shine. This year, we saw Trae Young leave the lineup for a while with injury. DeJounte took over, kind of made it his team, and then when Young came back, it just looked. They're very much your turn, my turn, and it's kind of awkward. They're both not very good off the ball. I would make a move there. I guess I would lean in favor of keeping Trae over DeJounte, but we already kind of thought about the idea of what it would look like if Trae Young asked out, if he asked out for a trade.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody would put it past him. I think he's enjoyed his time in Atlanta, but are you going to be stunned if Trae Young asks out of Atlanta? No, you're going to be like, well, another day in the NBA. So they're a huge wild card. I don't really know what you do here. Maybe you build around Sadiq Bey, like you said.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
No, build around it. Y'all always skew my words, man. I'm just saying,
I know.
Sadiq Bey should be something you look at when you are drafting. I think It's someone him and Johnson, the two
Johnson,
combined, because you have a lot of
Hunter.
Yeah, it's a pretty your small forward, your 2, 3, 4 is kind of a little tight, so you kind of got to go after a 5 here, which is probably why they'll take Sar. I think if like you said, if Trae Young stays, Sar goes. If
does have a lot of those pieces that I think are attracted to teams in winning situations. I think teams like those flexible wings, like Collins, like Hunter, even a shooter like Bay. That's attractive to a team. Maybe maybe like the Lakers. Teams that
the Lakers could use it if LeBron ended up staying. Yeah,
getting that two-way versatility from the wings and forwards that Atlanta has. Be nice. So they definitely are in much better position today than they were yesterday.
So let's talk about what happens in 7 through 12 here. That's a little bit more blurry. Obviously Spurs have another pick. What really intrigues me is the Thunder at 12. The Thunder don't need anyone else. Do you trade that for a future first somewhere else?
At 12?
Yeah, you could get a first from a team like I don't think, I'm not sure if they have it, but I think you could get it from who's I'm trying to think, like the Timberwolves.
I know that the Thunder, the hot thing to say with the Thunder right now, I mean the super hot take is, hey, Kevin Durant just got swept. The Thunder have the most picks of anybody over the next 5 to 7 years. While SGA is the only guy making money on that roster, they can actually afford a second star. The hot thing is like, do they trade all those picks for Kevin Durant? But taking
that would be crazy.
Taking KD out of the equation, do you trade some of these picks? I mean, you have so many picks going forward. Do you trade some of them
they're
for
already
an established star?
No, I trade them for your future, just in case one of your players gets disgruntled or you can't afford them in the future, because eventually you're going to have to pay SGA, you're going to have to pay Chet, you're going to have to pay Williams, you're going to have to pay Giddey. I mean, at one point...
This roster gets really expensive really fast. Not quite yet, but in 2 years...
In about 2-3 years it does.
2 to 3 years, this roster gets really expensive. Anybody who's
Unless you
played
can convince them.
On 2K My League, where you have a bunch of young guys,
it's impossible.
It's impossible. You end up having to trade 2 or 3 guys. So I would say right now, while the iron's hot and you have all this cap space, or I mean, maybe not even cap space. I don't think anybody really has true cap space outside of a couple teams. But while you have this spending flexibility, I would capitalize. And I would say, go get an established guy. Maybe not Kevin Durant, who's 37 years old, but maybe somebody who's Paul George. There's murmurs of Paul George out
back.
there, right? There's guys out there who you could attain for 2, 3, 4 picks, and that is really only putting a little dent in your huge asset pool if you're Oklahoma City. If you're I don't know, you taking Dalton Connect like Tankathon says, you taking somebody who's not really gonna even crack the rotation for you next year. I just don't know if that's what
he's a hooper though
right now. He's definitely a hooper.
Drew asked, do you think the Spurs take UConn big man for depth? We kind of went over that. I don't think he'll be I don't think so. I think you got to go after a guard. If a guard's available for the Spurs at 1 through 4, you take them. There will be a guard available at 8. So I mean, I guess you could take Klingon at 5, but I think you already have.
I mean, you're not taking Klingon to come off the bench. You're taking Klingon to start him. He is.
And do you want Wemby at the 4 or do you want Klingon at the 4?
We saw how that went. I mean,
Wemby it did.
Wemby's comfortable.
He's a 5.
Yeah, he is a true center in this league. He can more than keep up with the other bigs in this league. So I would take a guard. I would definitely be going hard after Topic right there at number 4.
Yep.
If a big is there later on, or maybe you can get one through trade, sure.
If Klingon fell to 8, then yeah, you shoot it. You go for it. But Klingon's not falling to 8. Spurs got to get a guard at 5, or at 4. Sorry. And it's up in the air at 8. I don't know who the Spurs go at. Maybe the Spurs go after a small forward at 8. They have Connect. They have Holland out there. Remember, Ron Holland was originally a top 2 pick.
Yeah.
He's kind of fallen
Ron
a little
Holland.
bit.
Yeah.
So maybe
He's got the stench of the G League on him, which clearly has not worked out. That G League program.
Yeah.
There's been some talent to come through. Obviously, Jalen Green, probably the biggest name. Scoot Henderson. But they've done away with that program, and it's probably for the best. I mean, these guys just do better for themselves in college, even if it's a broken system and a really bad product to watch. I like Matas Buzelis a lot. He was projected to go number 1 this time last year, and then once again, he's got the stench of the G League. He might be the best, one of the most versatile defenders in the top 10.
he's a huge wing too.
Huge wing, yeah. He's 6'10", 6'11". You want that if you're the Spurs and you're trying to build up a great defense. He's a great kind of flexible forward, can line up at the 3 or the 4 next to Wemby. I think that's a really nice fit as well. Be interesting to see if he falls in the draft.
Yeah, and like you said, stint of the G League, he might. But Buzelis and Holland were 1 and 2 at one point. So, I mean, pretty good spot. I think we all say this draft's going to be a stinker. I don't think it's going to be as big as a stinker as we think. We just don't have the big names like we did in years past. And it's kind of hard to follow up what happened last year with all the talent that was in last year's draft, of course. So, obviously, they have a lot to live up to, and they're not going to be able to live up to it. It's hard to live up to Wembanyama and Chet and that rookie class and Brandon Miller and all those guys. So, and even Scoot had a pretty mediocre year compared to his rookie counterparts, and it wasn't even that bad. It started off really bad, but he found his stride. So we'll see.
Believe in Scoot. Still holding my Scoot stock. Still believe.
Yeah, Scoot stock is it's low, buy low, and that's where we're at.
Man. Get in.
So I think there's a few Hall of Famers in here in this.
Whoa.
In this,
no,
I think there's a few. I think there
few
is
Hall of Famers.
A few Hall of Famers. We're gonna cut. Obviously, this ain't gonna be around in 20 years. Excuse me, but we're gonna look back and we're gonna find a few. I don't know who. It might be a second rounder. It might be a Jokic type thing.
Did you say that this tape won't be available in 20 years?
Who knows? You never know what's
this
going to happen.
This tape is going to live on YouTube for much longer than 20 years.
Hopefully, but you never know. What if YouTube's gone?
Archives? Well, yeah. All right, you're setting up a scary world. What about dinner with no YouTube? What would I do?
What else? How am I supposed to eat my food?
I can't eat without YouTube.
You expect me to talk to people?
I'm cooked if I don't have that.
Ryan comments, "Hey guys, long-time co-host, first-time commenter."
What a dork.
Poor internet. What do you think the Rockets will do with their pick? Also, Will, your forehead looks massive today. Speaking of my forehead,
Wow.
do you see my fade I got going on? You see this
You got
fade?
a low taper fade.
No, it's not
Like
low
Ninja,
taper.
bro.
Why does everyone say low taper? Low taper's down
Because
here.
of Ninja,
This is
bro.
some mid fade.
That's it.
Low taper fade doesn't even exist. Nope.
You should
Ryan,
do a
you're
low
banned, by
taper.
the way. Yeah, what do the Rockets do with their pick since
Klingen.
they are
I love it. I love Klingen there.
at 3?
I'm not drafting another ball dominant.
Pairing
guy. They
Klingen
have
with
so
Sengun?
many. Yeah, I mean he can make up for what Sengun isn't defensively.
Yeah.
You allow Sengun to kind of roam freely, focus strictly on. I mean, they run half of their offense through Sengun at the center position. If you have Klingen out there to just kind of hold down the fort, clean the glass. I mean, look at everybody they have. They have Cam Whitmore. They have.
That's a young athletic team. That's
Jalen
a crazy
Green,
athletic team.
The Amen Thompson. They have a lot of guys who are already on the ball a lot. Fred VanVleet, can't forget about Fred. But if you had Dylan Brooks and Klingen in the same 5, I mean that could be a scary defensive lineup.
Where does Jabari Smith go? Does he bump the 6-man? I think Dylan Brooks should get bumped to 6-man before Jabari Smith did.
Yeah, you're gonna want to keep Jabari up there. I mean, I don't know. Then pretty quickly that becomes a pretty big lineup.
Then Klingen would be good for a 5 because you're gonna take a defensive player out like Brooks, and so you just bump Sengun down. You add another defensive threat at the 5. Jabari Smith is not a bad defender, but there are
No,
things
no.
that he leaves some to be desired.
He's just, I think, been caught in between positions for a while. I think he's got a little bit of positional. Um, he doesn't have a strong identity yet. But I like Jabari Smith. He's played his way back up to kind of what we thought he could be. Houston just has an embarrassment of talent, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes through as the actual best guys on that team. I think they could potentially be. I mean, they don't have an SGA anywhere on the roster. Even if you really like Jalen Green, I don't see it for him.
Nah,
But
he just takes
could
too
they
many bad
be?
shots.
Could they be like a Thunder light in 2 years? Maybe. I mean, I really believe in their talent. Give Amen Thompson another season. Give Sengun another season. And Jalen Green was really awesome in the second half of the season. If that is the version they're going to get, then I actually do believe in him. He was a playmaker. He was a scorer.
But here's
he
the thing:
getting after it on defense. I could get behind that image of Jalen Green.
was that because Sengun was out, or was that
Yes.
just because he found his stride? And that's what we need to. That's
It
what
took
we need to
Sengun
decipher.
leaving the lineup to get Green
Yeah,
those much
so
needed
that's
reps.
a problem.
But that's the thing. I think he's gotten the reps now. Now the hard thing, if you're Udoka, is making sure that those guys mesh well.
Ime's a
they're
good
back
coach,
and
though.
healthy.
If there's anyone that
But
can do it,
exactly. You've got a whole off season with those guys. You've got Udoka another season in Houston. I believe in the talent with Houston. I like where they're positioned, especially with all these Nets picks coming to them. That's amazing.
and let's not forget this team was a game away from knocking the Warriors out after winning like 13 straight to get there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I mean, they're already not a bad team, and they had to play in the Western Conference, and they were 41-41. So they might be a piece away, and they might just be a year of experience away more than anything.
Could be.
With being super young.
They could definitely be in the playoff mix next year. It'd be exciting.
I think so, because the Warriors aren't. The Warriors are done. Lakers, I think, are done. I'm trying to see here. Let me see standings. Who we got? Who's falling out of the playoffs next year? Pelicans. I think they're gonna do something. I think they might blow up that team.
I think they're ready to move on from Brandon Ingram. And I think Brandon Ingram is ready to move on from New Orleans, and rightfully so. I don't think that's a good match. But Zion was really great this year. He was healthy for most of the year. It's a shame that he went out the way he did. But if he can come into the season in the shape he finished this season, then I believe in it.
So let's also not forget that the Grizzlies are going to be healthy next year. This is another team, and they have the 9th pick. Not what they wanted. I mean, they were projected 7. So
that feels so low for them based off what they just did this season.
They finished 7th, worst. But Connect might be a guy out there. Grizzlies are a little more perplexing situation because they're a really good team anyways, and they just need to stay healthy.
Are we sure?
I think so. John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. There's not many better duos in the NBA. There are. I can name 5, but they're top 6, 7. I mean, you got Tatum, Brown.
I know we're forgetting about how good Ja is.
Yeah,
and it's been a while since we've seen them, and I guess maybe recency bias is kicking in. But you're right. If they had Ja and Marcus Smart, who they shut down early, if they had Ja and Smart and Bane,
Desmond Bane, they shut down. Vince
Jaren
Williams
Jackson.
is a serviceable player.
Vince Williams showed up, and so did G.G. Jackson, who I'm a big fan of.
G.G. Jackson was a surprise of the year. I like G.G.
I like the Memphis thing. If you're right there and you can get a connect, or if you can get maybe one of my favorite players in the draft is Jared McCain, a nice guard off the bench. No, there wouldn't be a pressure on him. Plus, his ability to space the floor would be huge for them. That's a player I like right there in that mid lottery.
And also a guy I think who's going to have a bounce back year. Or not a bounce back, but just improving. He's improved every year. He needs to work on his shooting. Is Zaire Williams. I think he's a good player. He just needs to improve his shooting. Quick on his feet. I think he'll be. I still think he's got he's only a week younger than me. That's crazy. Born on September 12th, 2001. Yeah.
Yep.
Surely nothing happened the day before.
Anyways,
Anyways,
a lot of talent in Memphis for sure.
Yeah, so Memphis playoff team if they stay healthy. Utah's in limbo. They're not making it. Rockets, Warriors are out. Kings, I don't know what happens. The West is going to be an absolute nightmare next year. If you thought it was bad this year, now you're going to have 12, 13 teams that all have a legitimate chance for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. My question is, where do the Clippers and the Suns go? They're kind of in limbo as well. Obviously, both their experiments failed pretty bad. Yeah, because Kawhi's never going to be healthy again. He proved it again. He's proven the doubters right every time. The last 5 years now? It's been 5 years since they've been in the finals. So, I mean, if you're the Clippers, do you trade Kawhi do you try to get in this draft? I don't think this draft. No. I think next draft you do. You try to go get a flag next draft with Kawhi.
I don't think that's going to be available for him anyway, because Kawhi, like you said, I think the jury is pretty much out on Kawhi until he can show again that he can play a whole 4 playoff rounds or even just 1 playoff round. Because in the one that he did this year, I mean, they had to shut him down early. They had to take him out because he just was way too hampered by the injury. The Clippers are too all in on this new project with the new arena, trying to establish their own identity. And I totally get it. You've been little bro in LA for your entire existence. You're trying to change that. I don't see a world in which at least 2 of Kawhi, George, and Harden return next season. Maybe one of them leaves. I could see it maybe being Paul George. I mean, I feel like he's all in on LA. And being in Southern California, he always stressed that was a big deal for him. For him to go and switch coasts, I mean, some people are talking about a return to Indiana or Orlando. I think it's doubtful. They're going to give here's the thing for LA. They're going to give offer sheets to Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George for as long as they're there, because that's, they're going to re-sign their guys. Now, could one of them want out? Definitely see it. But I think LA will be competitive next year, even if we don't take them seriously as a playoff contender.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. And I like how we've been talking about the West. We haven't talked about the East because I think the East is set in stone for the next 4 years, honestly. I think it's gonna be the same. You're gonna see the Celtics and Knicks competitive. The Bucks always just failing to meet expectations. Sixers are in limbo, and the Sixers don't have a pick anywhere. I mean, they're 16. They're at 16, so. I mean, the East is free, and the Celtics will continue to win the East for as long until someone gets a number one, someone competitive gets a top 5 pick.
Well, how about this? If we want to dance on the East real quick. Miami, they weren't involved in this lottery, but they were the first team looking in at 15. Cleveland is down 2-1, and in 2 of those games have just, faced double-digit losses. As predicted, they're probably going to lose this series. Maybe in 6 games.
No, it's 5. It's 5.
Probably in
Boston.
5.
Boston proved why the best team in basketball last night, even when their star was in struggling star. He had 31. So
the thing is, I mean, Boston gets embarrassed in these game 2s, and it takes that for them to wake up and whatever. But with Cleveland looking like they're going to be facing elimination, everybody's been talking about Donovan Mitchell leaving there for really since he got there, because he's always kind of seemed like the guy who has wanted a bigger market. There's always been ties to the Knicks because of his representation. But I think that the Heat are going to go big game hunting this summer. I mean, Pat Riley is a winner, and he's getting older, and he gave that exit press conference where he ripped on Butler, he ripped on Hero, probably 2 of their 3 best players, right? And if you're Miami, you have the foundations of a nice team. You have you have one of the top 3 or 4 centers in the league in Bam Adebayo. You have Jimmy Butler, who is going to be 35, 36 next season. Tyler Hero, who's a nice piece, but is he like somebody you want? Is he the 3rd best player on a title team? No, he's not realistically. So could they go after a Donovan Mitchell? I think so. I think they're going to be in the hat. They're going to throw their names in the hat for him, and they're sitting right there at 15. I think that's a pick that they would look to move. I mean, they're not going to take anybody there that's going to really revitalize their roster. Even if they got lucky, like they did last year, taking Jaime Jaquez later in the first round, it's just not feasible that they're going to turn this thing around with a 15th overall pick. And I think that's a pick that they could look to move. Maybe it's not for Donovan Mitchell. Maybe it's for another star. That with any combination of Jovic, Hero, even Jimmy Butler could be on the move. We've heard reports about it. Could it be all bluff? We don't really know yet. It's just too early.
Only time will tell. Yeah.
Only time will tell. But I could see Miami get freaky this offseason. I could see Cleveland getting panicky this offseason, based off the performances of their other guys. Look at Darius Garland through this postseason. It's not been pretty. Evan Mobley has
It's
had
been
his
brutal.
moments.
But
Evan Mobley
Mobley has
with
proven
injury.
that he is just a defensive player. He's
just
not
a guy.
good
I
on
mean,
offense.
he did have his playoff career high in the Linsanity Cavs game in Game 2. But yeah, he's a
Linsanity Cavs
defensive.
game.
He's a defensive menace. He's somebody I would like to keep around if I was Cleveland. But I could definitely see Cleveland starting to press the panic button if Donovan Mitchell all of a sudden is asking out, and if I don't know what I have in Garland and Jarrett and Mobley, it could get kind of shaky in Cleveland really fast.
I think it will. I unfortunately, Cleveland is running out of time, and their time might be up.
Could be.
So, all right. Well, I think that's. Do you have anything else? I don't have anything else really. I'm stoked that our general manager Brian Wright is absolutely cooking the last 3 years. Turned Jakob Poeltl into an 8th overall pick. Masterclass. After we had traded him for Kawhi to pretty much make us so bad that we got the number 1 pick, and of course, the only blemish is the Derek White trade, who we got. Who did we trade? I don't even who did we trade for?
Josh Richardson, baby.
Josh
Come on
Richardson,
now.
yeah. And now Derek White is a top 5 player in the playoffs right now.
But
Bane.
you got a first round pick, which you used to take Blake Wesley. So, cheers, Blake Wesley and Josh Richardson for one of the best postseason players going right now. Nice, good job.
Surely Josh Richardson's still on the roster, but we had to do something. We had to be really bad to get. We had to throw. Took a step back to go 2 steps forward. So,
Josh Richardson, just real quick, I guess he's on Miami now.
yeah,
Is that right? Yeah. So during the first round, obviously the Celtics playing the Heat, I had to hear all about Butler's not playing. Okay, whatever. I get that. That is a big deal. I get it. But they would run through the list of injuries, and they would always include Josh Richardson like he was somebody. And I was so pissed off. I was like,
did we trade this
guy
dude?
for when he was when he was probably his last best days, and he was hardly anything then. So they would be like, oh yeah, Butler's hurt, Rozier's hurt, and you can't forget about a guy like Josh Richardson. And I was like, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I have totally forgotten about him since the day we traded him. So that was just funny, and having to hear that over and over on broadcasts was something.
You know what's funny though? Josh Richardson at one point in Miami, the team he was drafted to, 17 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and half a block.
Sure. On a rebuilding Miami team, I really did believe in Josh Richardson.
Yeah, on 36% 3-point shooting, serviceable.
Him and Justice Winslow, by the way, at one point.
Man, Justice. Let's check out this 2018-19 Miami Heat team. It had Bam, had Dragic, Winslow, D Wade.
What a squad! What a
D
squad.
Wade.
Yeah, D Wade's final year in Miami.
Yeah. No, this is when he came back. This is his final year ever.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Dion Waiters. Hassan Whiteside.
Waiters.
Remember when Hassan Whiteside? I thought Hassan Whiteside was the next best
He was next
defensive
up,
player. Yeah,
He was next up.
crazy. At one point, averaged 17 and 14. Man,
Incredible.
imagine if Hassan Whiteside was on that Heat team with LeBron back in 14.
LeBron would have made him so good and sharp that he'd probably still
Oh
be
yeah,
playing.
he'd be in the league still. He's only
Yeah.
how old is he? He's 34.
Probably like
so
31.
he would be on the way out. He's 34, so he's on the way
Okay,
out. But still,
34.
he would have had a pretty serviceable career. And he still did. You know, he's a
Yeah,
career
no,
12
I
and
mean,
11, 13 and 11 guy on 2 blocks a game.
Sure.
So a little Hassan Whiteside love. Duncan Robinson was on this team too. That's crazy.
Let me give you a little NBA Today update before we get out of here.
Yeah.
I just checked the score. Obviously, I'm not watching the game, but the Pacers are up 34-14 on the Knicks after first quarter. An evisceration
34-14.
so far.
Wow.
Yes.
14? Hold on.
Pacers could be looking to tie this series up today. And that could
Pacers
be fun.
in the Eastern Conference Finals was not on my 2024
that
bingo
was
card.
not on the wish list.
So here, let's
for
talk about the
most
Pacers
fans.
real quick.
But hey, I'm all in. You know I love Halliburton. He's one of my favorite non-Celtics in the league. Although he's struggled quite a bit with the Knicks' growing list of injuries, the Pacers are right there to take this.
Yeah. Pacers actually don't have a pick in the first round. That went to Toronto in the trade this year. So
Yes.
but Pacers obviously a solid team. They're making it. They're a little ahead of schedule as well. Not as far ahead of schedule as the Thunder are by any means. And it looks like Halliburton's turning it around. He's finding his stride again. So that's always good. I'm a Halliburton fan.
He's been aggressive today. He's already 8 points, 5 rebounds, no assists. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I kind of like it.
Do it yourself.
You have to be an aggressive scorer when you're the team's best player when you get to the playoffs.
And this is the playoffs. Stop screwing around. Stop dicking around. Just go get yours.
Stop going for the 20 assist games. Jalen Brunson, who I really do like Jalen Brunson, but some of the national praise has gotten a little bit big.
Ooh, yikes. 0 for 5.
He's putting up a yucky game so far. And I'm not rooting for that. I'm not. I want most guys in the league to succeed. I truly do. But it's nice when guys get when they come back down to earth a little bit. It's kind of nice when their Linsanity run is up, because I cannot take another day of Stephen A. Smith and every New York fan who's got a $1 million paycheck from ESPN to push this Brunson to top whatever player. Can we just enjoy him?
It's got to stop. Yeah.
Let's just enjoy him. Him and Anthony Edwards he was on.
Now, Anthony Edwards had a bad game.
I'm right there. I'm right there with Anthony Edwards. He's amazing. He was on USA Today or Good Morning America, whatever, getting asked how he compares himself to Michael Jordan.
I like his answer.
Chill. Let's chill.
Pretty much saying, don't compare me.
It's fun. It's fun. But part of me, even though I'm a Celtics fan, I don't really want to see Denver in the finals. If this was like a Wolves Linsanity run that tapered out, it'd be kind of like, oh, nice. We just get to, I don't have to scroll Instagram and every third post is this the new Michael Jordan? No, also Jokic hate is at an all-time high, which you could
for no reason.
After a third MVP, you knew that was going to happen. How about we just
dumb.
appreciate the fact he might be one of the best centers to ever play the game?
He is.
Let's just be honest.
3 MVPs. He's top 3 center of all time now. 3 MVPs. It's just how it is.
He has the Finals MVP to back it all up too. Because everybody's first thing is like, well, he didn't win a championship. Well, now he has.
Now he has one.
Still not good enough. So
yeah, comparison's a thief of joy, and that's why I've stopped comparing LeBron to Jordan and all that stuff.
All of it.
Just enjoy the players while we have them. The LeBron hate's stupid. He's gonna be gone next year, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's just not the same." It's like, well, why would you say that when he was in the league?
Real quick, we're gonna do. I'm sure we're gonna. Well, we may not record tomorrow. We have all this content to push.
It won't be tomorrow, but it could be.
If we recorded later in the week, I'm gonna bring my bit to the table that Nikola Jokic is this generation's Tim Duncan, underappreciated big man star. That's gonna be my take. Yeah.
You know what? I was looking through the award winners of the past decade and all that, and why Steve Nash has the 2 worst MVPs of this century. Robbed one from Tim Duncan, and he robbed one from LeBron James. No, actually, I originally thought he did rob it from Kobe. I was wrong. Hold on, I can pull it up real quick.
It's close. I mean, that Lakers team was so bad, and Kobe was great. But I think the Lakers ended up finishing 7th or 6th, and maybe that's not good enough to award MVP. Because especially it was such a team success award back then as well.
Yeah, here, hold on. I'll pull it up right here. So let me find it. When LeBron, this was the year LeBron got robbed when he took that poverty Cleveland team to a 50-32 record. I mean, this Cleveland team had Ilgauskas and Larry Hughes. Eric Snow is here. Yeah. Like Ilgauskas was their second best player. No disrespect to Ilgauskas. Very serviceable center.
Big Z.
But this team should not even been close to 50 wins.
No.
And LeBron had 31.5 points a game on 7 rebounds and 7 assists, 2 steals and a block. And somehow Steve Nash, 18 points, 10 assists, and a steal. What are we doing? Terrible. That was the Kobe Bryant 35 points a game year. And then of course the year before that, before LeBron, he took it from Duncan or Dirk, actually. No, it's Dirk. Correction, I'm sorry. He took it from Dirk. Shaq finished second, but Shaq didn't deserve to win that one. Dirk was 26, 10, 4, 1, and 2. And the Mavericks finished second in the NBA that year. So, sorry, Steve Nash. Most undeserving MVP winner, multi-MVP winner in the league's history. And there will never be a worse MVP than him.
Still a great all-time.
Great player.
But
didn't deserve an MVP.
I agree. Don't look back at old records. It's just upsetting. Especially when you think about all the ones that LeBron was jibbed out of. I mean, let's be honest. He could have won it probably 10
every
years
year
of his career, you know.
I'll tell you the ones he should have won it, and this will be the last time I talk about it. All right, here we go. 06, 05, 06, 07, 08. He won it in 09, 010, or 010. He won it in 08, 09, 09, 10. He should have won it over Derrick Rose. I would die on that hill. I will. I'll die on that hill.
Most people agree, yeah.
But it's because he went to the super team, and everyone was butthurt, and, you know.
Yeah, very sour.
Of course, he won it in 12 and 13. I don't think he deserved it over KD. KD had an insane year.
No, that was KD's peak, man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not his peak, but
he should have won it in 17-18. Generational LeBron James run, best LeBron James ever.
And then he should have won it one
because Harden won it. I understand,
but Harden's year.
That Cavs team was generationally ass. Like that was as bad as the 05 team.
I'm a firm believer that you could argue Harden is a 3-time MVP.
You could make that argument.
The first Curry MVP, I don't get it.
That was it's because he broke the 3-point record, and that's it. He was only averaging 22 a game. Curry is another.
That one
was another bad MVP winner. The second one was deserved.
The Rockets had a better record, and James Harden was better that season overall. And then the first one that Giannis won, I think, 18-19. I think that one's
that was a pretty.
Debate. That one's up for debate.
So
Curry
I agree.
MVP was
pretty odd, and it's only because he broke the record, and the Warriors were. That wasn't the 73 win season, but the Warriors were number 1 seed going through, and so he had narrative. Curry had narrative on his side. His first one, second one obviously deserved it. One of the greatest seasons ever. For LeBron's final MVP, he should have won, which he finished second. Was the COVID year, 1920. When he lost to Giannis. And the Lakers had won the title that year. And the Lakers were by far the best team in the league. LeBron should have won it then. So LeBron, we're looking at 8 MVPs.
Potentially.
7 or 8. What a shame. The voter fatigue is real, and it sucks.
There's
like
no
Jokic,
way Jokic is ever winning an MVP.
Never again. And he should. He really should. If he plays the way he does.
Any amount of money, he can average 35, 12, and 12 next season, it's going to be somebody else. There's no way. No way.
I just can't believe that Embiid really robbed him like that. I mean, what a shame.
Yeah, I know. Really. He could have 4.
I mean, Jokic
But
last
if
year
he won
was
it last year, he would.
he wasn't this year. SGA would have won this year.
SGA or
So.
Luka would have won it this year. Yeah, would have been crazy.
And voter fatigue sucks. We need to figure this out. The voters
it's
are
all
terrible.
narrative. It's all narrative based, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's part of sports. Media is part of why the sport is so popular, and you got to take the good.
You live and die by it. But you know what though?
Take the good with the bad.
He won a Finals MVP that year, so I doubt he truly cares.
He would trade this MVP for
another
MVP
Finals
this year in a heartbeat.
Yep.
In a
So
heartbeat.
it's like he loses MVP. He's like, you know what? I'll just go get the Finals one. Add another one to my collection.
Could do that.
It's like
again.
Would you rather have 5 MVPs or 5 Finals MVPs?
You take the Finals MVP all day.
I would. A lot of people in this day and age are like, "Oh, give me the MVPs. It shows that you're better long." Yeah, but you didn't win any finals. It's
maybe
0
Carmelo.
MVPs. Yeah. Yeah.
Or like Allen Iverson or somebody like
But
that.
like 0 MVPs and 5 Finals MVPs, like I won. I actually won.
Yeah, I did the whole
We won
thing.
as a team, and 5 MVPs and no final. It's Joel Embiid.
And shout
That's
out
all.
to Steph Curry, because maybe he wasn't the most deserving player in 2015, but he was
Got it
definitely the most
done.
deserving player of the Finals MVP. That he was. That is the
The
greatest.
worst.
I was thinking about this the other day. This is the worst robbery. We still don't talk about it enough.
The
I know
two
it's been
back to
covered
back,
so
the back to
much.
back, because they were both who locked down LeBron, and locked down LeBron still had 33 points a game.
Yeah, the
Kawhi, I don't think
Iguodala
Kawhi.
one
I don't
is
think
just-
Kawhi deserved it.
It's incredibly insane. The reason you're in the finals should be the guy who really gets it. I mean, Iguodala, congrats. You had an awesome series. What did you do? Average 16 points that series. Stephen Curry is the reason that you're in the finals and you won the finals. Even if he had a down performance by his standards, that's just the greatest robbery ever.
I completely agree.
That's just insane. I just thought about it the other day, and it's been keeping me up at night. Poor Steph Curry. I mean, I think he's gonna be.
But you
okay,
know what though?
but,
Steph Curry saved his entire legacy with that 2022 run.
yeah,
So-
winning one. I mean, I think he was fine, but winning one again after Durant and being the
it
bona
proved
fide best player on the team was for sure.
It proved that this was his team, and he wasn't just someone riding coattails of everyone else, and he got it done. That was. And obviously, for y'all, it was tough watching that happen. But I'm sure, as a basketball fan, you looked at it and it was like, I'm okay.
There's not many other guys you'd rather lose to. Losing one of the greatest players of a generation it makes you feel okay about it. You feel okay about it.
Yeah.
And we can get our get back this year, so I'm excited.
And actually, I'm going to change my mind. Kawhi deserved it.
I
always-
think he did.
You always
think he
forget
did.
Spurs team basketball. The leading scorer was Tony Parker, and he averaged 18 that series.
Yeah, Kawhi was so valuable.
Kawhi was
in that series.
17.8, and LeBron averaged what? He still averaged 28,
Oh,
but he
He
shot.
still was incredible. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. LeBron had an amazing.
Yeah. No,
LeBron
was
shot
amazing.
52% from the 3-point line.
No, LeBron was insane.
He only had 4 assists a game, though. His team let him down. His team really did let him down.
His team was selling the bag. But hey,
Just going back, you can't.
Well-
it's fun to go back, but Spurs will be
I'm
back.
excited.
Spurs Celtics finals next year. Calling
I'm
it.
excited for the draft lottery or the draft. I'm excited for the remainder of this playoffs. The Pacers are putting a beating on the Knicks.
Is it getting
Ugh.
worse? Oh
It's
man, it
getting
is.
worse. Ugh.
It's this hater
But-
report's freaking out right now. I guarantee it. Let's check on hater report. My favorite
There's no
account
new-
on Twitter.
There's no new posts on Hater Report because you've been recording, bro. You haven't had a chance to go post.
Oh, you're right. My bad. Hater
Yeah.
Central also hasn't reported anything yet. Hold on.
Okay, but I gotta get out of here. But we'll quickly shout out TJ McConnell could be on Honey Watch. He's already got 10
Oh,
points
no.
off the bench.
TJ McConnell's gonna look so
McConnell.
good in a Spurs uniform.
TJ McConnell, I'm pouring honey on you, goat. Come on, come on.
Honey Watch.
I'm-
This
I'm
week's
pouring
Honey Watch,
honey.
baby.
So
Awesome. All right, let me get us out of here, and then I'll let you get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for attending our first ever live stream, live reaction to the draft lottery. Had a lot of fun, and of course, just talking about it afterwards. And of course, Ryan, I guess, would love to be here. I think Ryan kind of flaked on purpose. He will probably
Pulling
disagree.
the old internet card.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice move,
So
Ryan.
good job, Ryan. Generational acting job. We appreciate those there. Drew, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all's support. We'll set up a GoFundMe for Ryan's internet, of course. And with that being said, we will see y'all soon. We might have an episode. Spencer has something to say. We might have an episode later in the week. Spencer, go ahead.
Just real quick before we get out of here, happy Mother's Day. We're all
Happy
gonna
Mother's
go
Day.
Celebrate
Yes.
that. To any mothers who may be watching, happy Mother's Day.
My mom and dad are not watching this right now. They're watching The Crown on Netflix. They had better things to do.
They may later. They might later.
They could. So, anyways, yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Love y'all. And we will see y'all very soon. Thanks, guys. All right. It's ended.